times are tough. If you can give, because there's more blessing in giving than receiving. So if you can give. Tobe chuku. And can you sing the song Tobe chuku? Tobe chuku. It's not Tobe chuku. Tobe chuku. My God. Yeah. I find the newspaper this morning says Oforiatta adds Media General to 10 million Ghana cedi suit. Chinapa assures AngloGold Ashanti Obuasi mines of protection. Anthrax outbreak. Authorities ban movement of all ruminants in parts of Upper East region. Move to sanitize forex market. Bank of Ghana to provide forex liquidity at prevailing market rates according to the IMF. Kenyan MP partners Kufuor Foundation to end period poverty. The ABC News this morning says EC opens nominations for Asin North parliamentary by-elections. Full judgment James Kweson's election as MP for Asin North unconstitutional according to the Supreme Court. Freedom of the media must not be construed to be media tyranny. And two friends of Baba who allegedly killed SHS girl at Achim in Sutem picked up. The business analyst this morning reports that tightened expenditure commitment controls of MDA statutory funds IEA to government. CD loses 1.28% in value to dollar last week. And fight against Galamsey, Tobinco Boss leads the way as he employs 40 youths from Takwa Awudria, set to employ more before the end of the year. Bilateral trade between Italy and Ghana in 2022 yielded 825 million euros, Italian ambassador reveals. And finally, the New Independent, I beg your pardon, NPP flag bearership race, Alan Bawumia in trouble as lecturer picks nomination form today to give them hot chase. Well, who is this lecturer? Is Eric Sechi Nkatia. And CJ nominees fate hangs as Napo abandons appointments committee and flies out to party. Finance Minister adds Media General to Captain Smart to the defamation suit. COVID-19 funds not misused. How many times will we hear this? And Ho Tech University management shoots down reports. What are the reports? It comes with some ladies wearing miniskirts on the front page. I see
that.
What do you have?
All right, I've got a selection in front of me. Let's start off with the Ghanaian Times. Tension in Ashaiman over sale of community park. Residents vow to resist. Government remains committed to protecting AngloGold Ashanti mines, and you've got the lands minister pictured here. Trouble looms as mahogany seeds shortage hits Ghana. We're unable to export, the story says, due to galamsey, and we're losing out on millions and millions of cedis. The Anchor newspaper this morning, irate DCE turns funeral grounds into a boxing arena, beats up woman organizer, leaving her with swollen eye. Johnny, take a look at this. Look at the eye. And if you pick up the Anchor, you see that. They say it turned into a boxing arena.
DCE.
We'll get into
beats
that.
A woman organizer.
As we progress, it's not looking good. But also bizarrely, 64-year-old man jailed 12 months for spending a night in John Painsill's deserted house.
What was he looking for?
Okoho. We'll find out as we progress. It's in page 4. Government will protect AngloGold Ashanti fiercely. That's captured on the front page. And the Overseer, I'm not sure if we've had this paper on Sunrise, but we'll take a look. Mahama, Atoforsin and Jachi Kweson's storm NDC FEC meeting, resolved to win the Asin North seat. That is something that is still, of course, very hot on the radar. Pokwa Soya donates to orphanage homes, and Bawumia is dishonest. That's coming from a certain pressure group. It's captured in page 4. Lastly, the Daybreak newspaper. They say freedom in truth. 906 customs officers transferred, officers on tenterhooks. Anthrax outbreak in Upper East, and daily waste accumulation in KMA can fill over 500 tricycles. That is what the story is saying. Over 500 tricycles can be filled with the daily waste that is accumulated in the KMA.
Okay, those are what you have there, right? And page 4, the interesting photo we found on the front page of the newspaper, the New Independent. It says no hookup, an HIV outbreak in Hull Technical University management shoots down reports. Well, the management of the Hull Technical University has reacted to a publication making rounds that on social media alleging an outbreak of HIV in the university. The publication has also alleged that an informal form of sex work nicknamed hookup had led to the outbreak of HIV at the university. According to the university, there is no such information supporting the publication, setting the record straight in a statement signed by its registrar C.K. Ameho, issued on Monday, 5th June 2023. The university said the University Health Service, as well as the municipal and regional health directors of the Ghana Education Service, the Ghana Health Service, have no such information on the Hull Technical University as published. It is therefore urged the public to disregard the publication as it's entirely baseless and false. It further advised the general public to desist from sharing the false publication as it has the potential of damaging the hard-won reputation, image of the institution. Management of the institution shall institute legal action against any person sharing these false in publication. The university indicated it assured all stakeholders and the general public that the Hull Technical University remains safe, one of the preferred technical universities worldwide. Hookup, HIV, and whether we may want to dismiss it or accept it, this hookup thing has gained grounds.
That is true.
The people who are doing broad daylight prostitution, and they call it hookup, and it's happening. People have a double lifestyle. At home, they are very cool. They are not outgoing. They are sofumba and all of that. They go to church regularly when they are on vacation, and then when they go to school, they are horses of a different color. They are clubbing and partying and doing everything. But one of the things that I have come to notice is that, well, you come from a very poor background. Suddenly you go to school, you come back. You're not supposed to be working in school. You're supposed to be studying in school. You struggle to pay your school fees, but you come back with an expensive phone or some gadgets, and your parents are quiet about it. It raises concerns. I mean, the Hull Technical University management would like to shoot down this and dismiss it, but in every iota of, in every rumor there's an iota of truth, as they say, and they can't wish away this. Not just Hull Technical University. Go to our major universities, and some of the big boys and big girls would tell you that, look, if we're looking for people to party with, in the strictest sense of the word, we go to the universities and pay them something and pick them up, and that's it. So you don't know what somebody's carrying, what they have. Hookup has become the ish. It's like a daily bread kind of survival.
I've heard a lot of young ladies, lament about the current economic situation. And for a lot of them, it's as simple as doing it online. Even apps such as Snapchat, you can, sometimes even pay for subscriptions. So some of it is not even in person. You pay a monthly fee and you get your own, get your own tailor-made content straight, to your doorstep. And
Gen Z.
And sometimes the dangers for young women, you might go and link with somebody online, like Johnny said, you don't know what they are carrying, you don't know what their intentions are. We're living in a society where people are into all sorts. They go and see a certain somebody in the bush. They say, bring me a leg of a young woman. Bring me the heart of a of a young man.
And they're coming for you.
And they're coming for you. So not only is it, not the wisest, way to go about things, it's also very dangerous for those that are engaged in it. You don't know who you are linking with.
You don't know at all. For some of them, it's just the cash. That's all. Once they have the cash, they don't care if it's a horse they're making out with, it's a dog, whatever it is. And it tells you so much about how the moral fabric of a society is connected to its sustenance and the eating or the feeding of its people. People will do anything for food.
Yeah.
People will do anything for food. The people who are listening to us now who may have not slept at home, they slept somewhere. because it was a hookup, and they have to survive. It's a stark reality that we have to come to terms with. That if we created a lot more jobs, if we heavily industrialized, if we're very serious about priorities and putting the people at the center, like William will always say, we wouldn't have some of these. I mean, of course, you can't write everything off,
of
but
course.
you would have then gotten a wide majority of the people to get in there. Because look, Helen, people call me to ask for 50 CDs, 20 CDs, 10 CDs. People make those calls to me. Say, and these are people you knew them, growing up in your neighborhood, and
these are real stories.
Because even the factory. I mean, I've worked as a factory hand before in a biscuit factory. Even the factories where they can go and make, work by day and get paid in 2 weeks, because that's what I know, that the factories get paid every 2 weeks now, or fortnightly, as I said. But those jobs are not even there to begin with. It's sad.
The situation is dire. And also,
sad.
Johnny, thinking about it from the top and looking at leadership, when we talk about the moral fiber in society, gradually losing its grip, you look at what's happening at the top, and young men and young women are impressionable. They see that you go into office with a modest lifestyle, you come out and you are living the most luxurious lifestyle. What does that indicate?
Yeah.
It indicates that if you do some 1 or 2, you can get ahead in life. And young people watch that and they think it's all about making money very quickly.
And it's not.
And it's not.
It's not. I mean, because we as a society fail to question people who suddenly, you go to sleep, the next morning, William comes with a G-Wagon, he has another Range Rover following him, he has 2 police escorts, he's dishing out cash to people. And nobody wants to question how. And then later on in life, if you go ahead to question, they say, oh, you're a hater,
you're jealous,
you don't like the man's progress and all of that. The people who have had children with others, right, who have been abandoned, especially women, what they call born one these days, what they call born one these days, they have been abandoned, and then those very people now have to survive and fend for themselves and take care of the children or the child. And you find them doing hookup. William, good morning.
Good morning.
Hookup.
How are we?
Well, we're worried about
alive.
Hookup and how the whole technical universities and the news where they have dismissed it, saying that there's no hookup and HIV outbreak on their campuses. But we're trying to widen the conversation generally and ask the question whether it's a reality on the ground that people are really doing that informal commercial sex work nicknamed hookup.
It's informal.
Yes, that's
I like
it's not. I mean, because they won't go and stand by the street at the Nkrumah Circle or any of those popular red light places that or we hear about, but it is going on. 100 CDs, 200. Yes, they're using technology.
Yes, like I said, monthly subscription.
So
somebody
I am available.
Say you can subscribe for a month, maybe 100 CDs a month for premium content, tailor-made straight to your phone.
I mean, that's one thing about this internet space that we haven't really discussed, because people are having all kinds of things to do on the internet, and because the internet use is also quite private. These things are just going on, and even if you say the thing is a crime, how do we monitor the internet to see who is engaged in prostitution, OnlyFans, and all those things? So, and there's this thing about Airbnb, where people are having facilities, rooms for rent, and it's not in the system.
Right.
Because all the hotels will run as a hotel. And hotel, you go there, what have I come to do in the hotel?
Yeah.
But if I'm in that kind of private apartment,
Airbnb,
you see that maybe I live there, that kind of thing. So, and
I mean, that one, I'm not sure how we monitor what people do with their Airbnb.
Young people are also now living alone quite early.
Agree. Agree. They are 18 and they're already out of the home.
When we were growing up, we left home quite late.
Yeah. 27,
sometimes
30.
Yeah,
then
I left home like,
Yeah.
I mean, officially left home like 31.
Yeah.
But
Same.
these days-
Same for me.
Yeah, and
30, 31.
These days you see a young lady
18
or young
years,
man,
19 years,
19,
he has
20,
an
21. She has an apartment, she has a car.
Yeah.
And you see, sometimes when we're growing up, we didn't understand, but the independence that you get quite early, if you're not mature enough to, handle yourself, you get into all kinds of situations. Because the system is not that easy. Unlike the West, where you can use your credit card or whatever card to live. So even if you are living alone, you are not depending on anybody per se. And yesterday I was listening to this conversation about how, I think Lawyer Obo was speaking about how this emotional crime is rising, where people are getting into relationships and the investment is one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Because they've
material
seen that-
investment is one-sided.
So they are gold digging.
So if I invest in you and then tomorrow I see signs that you want to ditch me, then the maturity will set in and people are killing their partners, especially men are killing the women. So it's a conversation that I think we should pick up and see how living alone can be very, very burdensome in terms of investment. How much do you have to live alone? You are not sharing. Now you have your freedom, but that freedom comes with a lot of costs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think this hookup is not just the hookup side of the conversation, but for me, it is how people are eager to have everything alone.
But William, the hookup thing is so serious where you have a daughter, you have a son, you are not too sure what they do when they leave home to go to school. These days, they don't even want to stay in the halls of residence. I mean, of course, it comes with its own challenges because there are not enough rooms. But their first option is not to even stay in a hostel that is regulated. They want to go and hire their own room.
And the hookup is not only the girls.
No,
guys
the
also
boys
do
are
it.
doing
Oh yes,
hookup.
now the boys are
the boys
packaging
are
their
doing-
own
yes,
as
yes,
must they say will give you a special massage experience,
but
and
that-
that one is so
and there are
prevalent.
escorts and all of that.
Yes.
So somebody goes to an Airbnb. I mean, they're charging, let's say $100, $120. They pick it up, they contribute, they go in there. They're doing all manner of stuff, from smoking to drinking to whatever it is, all kinds of drugs, and they are in there for 3 days, and nobody knows what's happening. You as a parent think that they are in school. They are exchanging all manner of infections and Charlie, be serious with that.
You see, again, when we were growing up,
Right,
some of the things were gender specific.
exactly.
Some of the things.
Smoking,
Because
for
those
example,
days you wouldn't see
a woman
but these
publicly.
days, sisters do things that the guys do.
No. So that they do even more than the guys. If you go to a regular pub, William, go to a regular
sisters have
pub.
become herbalists.
Charlie,
And
Charlie-
and those days, for you to see a lady smoking cigarette
publicly,
first,
yeah.
then now
Weed
herbs.
and shisha and all those
yes,
things.
and they do it openly.
See, William, go to a pub of your choice, all right, where shisha and all those things are sold. And I've had conversations with the guys who makes the stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's some water in there,
Yeah.
and then they put stuff in there.
You got the flavored tobacco on top
Whatever
of that.
it is that the guys who makes the thing tell you the kinds of demands that the sisters make.
I love that we're calling them sisters.
Yes, for what? No, because they are sisters. What has to be in the mixture for them before it is lighted to give them that shisha experience is even more deadly and more dangerous than what the males ask for.
Wow.
And they are pulling it and
And
Like some
shisha
chimneys.
is very dangerous for you. They tell you that the equivalent of sitting for one session is the equivalent of smoking several boxes of cigarettes.
Yeah, they don't care.
It's very dangerous for your lungs.
They don't care.
Shisha, very dangerous for your lungs.
I think also that is because it's become more of a status kind of thing. If you can afford it, then you're a big boy,
It's
you're a
true.
big girl.
It's true.
These days people buy a bottle of whiskey and they drink the whole thing at a sitting.
Because the amount they've spent on it in India, or the bottle no crab echo.
Yeah, but
They've broken the bank. Now, young boys get
on.
together and they want to show that we've arrived. And they have bills. People have tabs running in different clubs and pubs. They can't settle their bill because for even the young men, they want all their friends to see that, hey, Charlie, I've moved out. I've got a new car. I'm in the club. And they've contributed to buy the most expensive bottles. The pressure that young people put on themselves to also, me too, I want to do some. It's incredible. And I think, what's more exciting than having a life that you are content with? Nobody's chasing you for your money. You sleep peacefully at night. You live within your means. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's worrying. And all of this, if it's not because of adventure, if it's not because of trying to keep up appearances, but primarily it's because of the money. Money. You see somebody's very beautiful daughter, you see this one, she is being corrupted and she's in the midst of some 4 or 5 guys, and they don't look homey, as we like to call it. They look all about the place, and they're with this beautiful lady who is being introduced to all manner of sorts. Now, when the lady gets intoxicated at that point, okay, and then they go away, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. The parents are at home thinking that, everything is okay. Look, William leaves here, goes to pick his daughter at school every now and then. He's keeping an eye. But how many parents can do that? How many parents even have the time now to want to do that? Because back in the day, my dad would come and wait for you and pick you home. These days, parenting has become...
This whole story, what I see through, reading the story and the bigger picture is that, and what is happening now is how all these things are threatening marriages, because the marriages, according to the records at the registry, the number of marriages is also almost equal to the number of divorce in terms of the rates.
That's even those who come and report.
And I found that shocking. To add on, 2021, we're told that over 960,000 couples filed for official separation or divorce. Almost 1 million Ghanaians.
Those are the ones who have come to
Yes.
And it's not always that we sit here and talk about the economy and energy and forget about the social side of things. Because look, if the institution of marriage is threatened like this, we should know that the country is in trouble. Because those countries that did not take it seriously, they are having the repercussions.
That's right.
Now even on social media, people are indicating genderless, he, she, her, there, and all kinds of.
I can wake up tomorrow. I feel like a pen.
That's how
I feel like a red pen.
So because the
I want to
whole world
marry a book.
socialize the children. There's no home now. You go to some of these areas, the child will have his bath on this side of the road with mommy, then you cross to the other side to go and collect money from daddy. When he comes, they've left him to go and eat in some auntie's house. So there's no eye on the child.
Yeah.
Those days, if you were not even with your parents, you were with the family.
So somebody, there's some checks that happened.
And the early independence of the youth is quite threatening.
It's worrying. It is worrying.
I think it's threatening our social fiber because
it is worrying.
If marriage is just seen as one of those things.
I know a couple that got married on a Saturday. By the next Saturday, they were apart already.
Oh.
They couldn't come to terms to agree that they were going to live together. I don't know what it was, but just under a week.
But if
finish.
Before you marry, it's on the internet. During your marriage, the day you are married is on the internet. When you marry,
it's on the internet.
Every day is on the internet.
The internet will interfere. Because when the data finishes,
you come and say all the things about the marriage on the internet. And these days, the kind of wedding ceremonies we have, it's rather the bride and the groom who are entertaining the guests.
Yeah. And not the standard way of doing things.
But it's
solemnization of
I was scrolling on Instagram in Tanzania. Actually, they have professional bridesmaids and groomsmen that you go and hire. And I thought your bridesmaids and groomsmen were those that you were closest to,
and friends.
your closest friends. But now you go and you can hire the actual bridal party, so you have your exact specifications.
Anyway,
well, this
and
is
so
it.
on and so
I
forth.
think we should be talking about these things.
We should talk about it. Yeah.
Because the internet is making
Look,
people
during the COVID era, when the world was locked down, and in fact even in Ghana, that was where you found out people who were in very abusive relationships. Because if you were in an abusive relationship and you had to go out and come back late, leave home early and come back late, you really didn't have a lot of interactions. But now, because of the imposition of restriction, you know, and of movement,
very sad,
you are kept in there. And that was how the world got to know that the numbers of people who are in abusive relationships are way out of the numbers that we had assumed. And if you are in an abusive relationship, it could lead to hookup, because somebody provides small comfort and a listening ear for you. Agbena.
And the killings these days, a lot of them are linked to food. The food.
Yes, yes.
And
what I saw,
I'm investing in you. You are going to put the boy's photo as your
profile picture,
or you are chat, the SSS to SHS,
and then you come and see some message. You have to explain it. But those days, before you where's the phone?
phone.
The phone. You see, a lot of, if you check all the killings from January to date, let's imagine the number of cases that are linked to the phone. So when we talk about some of these things, it's not a joke.
It's not a joke at all. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Johnny's Bite is up in a bit.
Sunrise.
We'll be back shortly. Stay with us here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Johnny Hughes.
3FM Sunrise. Johnny's Bite.